So welcome to another video. This is the second suturing video. In today's video we will learn how to take mattress sutures. This is a technique which you have to build upon after you have learned how to take a basic suture, and for that you will have to watch another video in which I have explained the basics of how to hold the instrument and take a basic suture. So once you learn that, then it is a good idea to know other kinds of suturing, and today we will learn about mattress suture. And there are various different kinds of sutures that you can take. Vertical mattress is one of the commonly used ones, and mattress, the name derives from the technique in which a literal mattress is sutured. The mattress, the one which you sleep on, is the mattress we are talking about, and how it is sutured is the technique based on which this technique is used. And it is generally applied when you have thick sutures when you have thick tissues that you would like to approximate. For example, if you are doing a laparotomy, then the skin is very thick from the abdomen, and then there are various layers underneath it. So if you use a mattress technique of suture, then the approximation is much better than using only simple sutures. It is significantly better, and the healing and the results are much more satisfactory. So this is how you hold the instrument. Very quickly I'll tell you that the needle holder is held this way. This is the bow, this is the ratchet. Your thumb and your ring finger go over here. Your index finger helps you navigate the instrument. The middle finger helps you support, and the little finger helps your hand to be supported on the tissues. Your left hand will hold the needle. You will hold it somewhere at the junction of 1/3 and 2/3 from the eye, and the first thing that you will do is try to drive the needle as smoothly as possible, and for that to happen it has to be perpendicular to the surface of the skin. And the advantage is that your wrist is already rotated. Once you bring it back to its normal position, you would have driven the suture automatically through the tissue. Because this is a very ideal situation, I don't feel the need of using a forceps. However, in reality you might have to use a forceps. A tooth forceps is better to have. Then you hold the needle again at the same position and drive it through the tissue once again. Again perpendicular to the surface, rotate your wrist and the needle will smoothly come out. So far everything is going like how a normal suture would be taken. Then you have to drive the thread, extra thread, out of the suture. Make sure that there is some tail left over here which is significantly long, so that you don't have to really struggle with closing the suture or knotting the suture. Now comes the part where the mattress happens. So mattress basically means taking the suture back again from where it started, and that will give it some additional strength. So you hold it the same way like you were holding it earlier at 1/3 2/3 junction, and then you can drive it. Now there are two ways of holding the needle holder. Some teachers say that you have to hold it exactly the way I showed you earlier, with your fingers in the bow and driving it perpendicular. However, sometimes this can be difficult if you are right-handed person doing it like this. So another way of doing it is that you remove your fingers from the ratchet and hold it like this. Some people agree, some people don't agree. However, all that matters in my opinion is that you should be able to take the suture properly, and if you hold it like this, your wrist is more free to rotate. So when you hold it like that, again the principles remain the same. You have to come medial to the opening of the previous suture and then try to drive the needle inside the skin and then out. Hence it is always good to have some extra margin on both sides if you plan to take a mattress suture. Another thing to remember is that skin is in layers, and the second layer has to enter and exit on top of the first layer. The way to identify is that there is a thin white line which separates the dermis and the epidermis, and that line is where your needle should exit and enter on the other end. So since this is a silicone model, we cannot really differentiate the lines. Then so we will do it without really trying to find out if we have exit at the right plane. However, in real life, it is always good to exit from the white line and enter on the white line on the opposite side. The advantage of doing such is that cut through is less, and that saves a lot of time. What happens is that taking a mattress suture is a time consuming exercise compared to a simple suture, so you would not want to do that again and again. And the technique to ensure that is that you enter and exit the tissue at the right planes. So here I have entered and exit the tissue, and with that we come to the knot taking part of the suture. So you will wrap most of it around your finger, hold it near the eye, make sure that the tip is nowhere near any of your fingers and you don't accidentally get yourself pricked. The forceps can remain over here or can be kept, it just depends on what your habits are. So having done that, you take one throw, and the second throw, it is because it is a non-absorbable suture which is non-braided, it is always good to take 2 throws. Having taken the 2 throws, I hold the tip of the tail of the other end, square the knot and try to approximate both the ends of the tissue. Now is the time for the second throw. Here you can do it just once and then you can tighten it on top of the first knot. Again another knot. In Ethylon, it is good to take at least 5 knots so that everything is reasonably tight and secure. This is the 4th one, and then there is the 5th knot. So if you have an assistant, he will cut the thread for you. If you are on your own, then perhaps you can stretch it a bit and use your finger to cut the thread. The idea is to use your index finger to support the needle and be as precise as possible when cutting. Ideally, this should be done by an assistant and he should be supporting the needle with one hand and cutting with the other hand. So here we have taken a vertical mattress suture. Now just to demonstrate the various layers, I remembered that on the edge of this silicone model. So now just to demonstrate how various layers of the skin look and what I was talking about earlier, we will drive the needle like we always do, 90 degrees perpendicular, rotate the skin, rotate the wrist, and the needle will come out. So here the needle has come out. Now when you are taking a mattress suture, the idea is to go back on a plane which is above your earlier suture, and to identify that we use the white line, the distinction between dermis and epidermis, to drive the needle. So here, since we don't have a clear white line but we do have some layers, we can use that as a guide to demonstrate how can we enter the correct plane. So let us imagine that these 2 layers, this is the white line. So what we will do is that we will drive the needle inside perpendicular and rotate our wrist and try to drive it out of the other end. And this in theory will demonstrate how a mattress suture would look like. So thank you for watching the video. If there's anything else you would like to add, then do let me know. If there's anything else I can help you with learning, of course I would be more than happy to hear that, read that in the comments, share the video around, show it with your friends, and let me know how good are you with suturing after watching this. Thank you.